Maya Clark had been at Quantico for only 2 weeks when they handed her a nightmare. She had expected coursework, shooting drills, maybe shadowing senior agents, not a briefing room with photographs of bodies strung up by industrial rope, hung, torso split open, organs spilling as if gravity had betrayed them. Her throat tightened, but she didn't look away. Victim number 6, said Special Agent Donnelly, tapping the screen. Same method, same staging. The original Hangman had been locked up for 9 years, so either he suddenly achieved astral projection, or we got someone competing for a spotlight. The room shifted, agents murmuring. Everyone knew the Hangman, Thomas Vale, a predator who turned abandoned spaces into stages, forcing his victims into sickening choices. Hold their slash abdomen together, or reach up and relieve the pressure on their own tightening noose. Maya swallowed hard. Vale's case file had kept her awake for nights, pages full of diagrams, photographs, and chilling psychological profiles. Clark, Donnelly said suddenly. You know his file better than anyone here. She blinked. Yes, sir? You talked to him. A ripple went through the room, half pity, half curiosity. Maya kept her shoulders square. Yes, sir. The interview room felt colder than any other part of the facility. There was nothing inside except a metal table, 2 chairs, and a pane of observation glass. When the guards brought Thomas Vale in, Maya felt her pulse spike. He was nothing like the frantic monster the news had painted. His movements were slow, deliberate. His hair was neatly combed. His eyes, though, that was where the rot lived. Calm, hollow, detached. Maya Clark, he said before she could introduce herself. You're shaking. She wasn't, but the implied intimacy made her skin crawl. Thank you for speaking with me, Mr. Vale. Mr. Vale, he repeated with a small laugh. Polite, refreshing. They usually begin with insults. I'm here about the murders occurring this month, Maya said, pushing forward. Someone is copying your method. The faintest spark flickered in his eyes. Interest, or maybe jealousy. Copying, he murmured, or attempting. Maya slid a sanitized crime scene photo across the table. He's imitating your signature, but the press is calling him the Hangman, not the copycat. The Hangman. A muscle and his jaw twitched. In time, she added, people might forget the name belonged to you first. He looked at her then, really looked, and then she felt the weight of his stare, like ice sliding down her spine. You're clever, he said softly. Dangerously so. Will you help us stop him? Vale leaned back, evaluating her like a puzzle piece that might fit his amusement. He doesn't understand the stage, he murmured. Wherever he is, he's impatient. He forces the spectacle. This will be his downfall. Maya listened closely, but he drifted into philosophical tangents. Control, fear, performance, legacy. She left with only fragments, but one phrase echoed in her mind as she exited. He doesn't understand the stage. Maya buried herself in both sets of case files. Vale's victims had always been placed in structure with deliberate vantage points, open scaffolding, suspended beams, catwalks overlooking the struggle. His sick, twisted theater. But the new scenes, they were sloppier, wrong angles, inefficient rope placement, a method imitated, not understood. Yet another pattern emerged, subtle but unmistakable. Each new victim had been found one zone closer to Quantico, forming a spiraling path. He's moving inward, Maya told Donnelly at the next briefing. Every scene brings him closer to us. To Vale. Donnelly exhaled sharply. So he wants attention? He wants approval, Maya corrected. From Vale, from the Bureau, from anyone who will look at him. She circled the next predicted location on the map, an abandoned construction site 5 miles from Quantico, a skeletal office tower frozen mid-build, full of hanging beams and exposed floors. His perfect imitation of the stage, she said. Is this where he'll try again? Donnelly hesitated, then, take a small team, quietly. If you're wrong, we've wasted a night. If you're right, he didn't finish. Winds howled through the half-built tower, rattling loose sheets of plastic like warning whispers. Maya crouched behind an old generator, headset buzzing with teen check-ins. South entrance clear, north stairwell clear. She tried to steady her breathing. Her hands were cold even inside her gloves. An hour passed. Then the single floodlight flickered, buzzed, stabilized. A van rolled into the lot, headlights off. Vehicle entering, Maya whispered. Hold positions. A man in maintenance overalls stepped out. He moved with practiced calm, checking angles, scanning shadows. Then he opened the back doors. Maya saw the bound woman inside. Adrenaline surged through her veins. It's him, she said. Engaging. Clark, Wait for backup. No time, she whispered. Already moving. She circled through the dark, stepping carefully between steel beams. When she emerged into the light, the man was hauling the woman toward a dangling rope he'd already prepared. FBI, she shouted, gun raised. Drop the rope. He froze, and then slowly turned. His voice was trembling, but eerily familiar in cadence. You're the one who visited him. Maya's blood chilled. I guarded him, the man said. He talked to me, explained everything. Then he stopped, said I was unoriginal. A footnote. Her eyes darted to the victim. The young woman was shaking, tears streaking her cheeks. You killed to prove yourself, Maya said, to force him to acknowledge you. I perfected his work, the man snapped. I made it grander. Now the news calls me the Hangman. Me. Sirens grew louder. Backup was closing in. Maya kept her voice slow, steady. He doesn't respect you. He never did. Killing her won't change that. But it will ensure you're remembered only as a failure, trying to be someone else. He faltered, eyes flickering between Maya, the ropes, and the victim. Don't do this, she pressed. This isn't your legacy. This is your last choice. His hands twitched toward the rope. Maya fired. The gunshot cracked through the night, and he collapsed, screaming, clutching his shoulder. The agent swarmed seconds later, wrestling him down as Maya cut the woman free. She stayed with the victim until the paramedics arrived, whispering reassurance through adrenaline and shaking breath. Donnelly approached her afterward, gel tight but proud. You trusted the psychology. Exactly what we needed. Maya nodded, exhausted, but she wasn't done. Not yet. They sent her back to Vale the next morning. He entered quietly, shackles clinking. So, he said lightly, my apprentice has fallen. Your copycat, Maya corrected. Daniel Harrow, the guard who listened to your stories. Vale's lip twitched. It was sloppy. It was desperate, she said. For your approval, which you dangled in front of him until he was willing to kill for it. Is that what you believe I did? He asked, curious. I don't care what you believe, Maya said. Your stage is gone. Your legacy ended last night. Harrow's confession will bury it. For the first time, Vale's mask cracked. Only slightly, but enough for Maya to see a bruise on his confidence. You've been studying me, he murmured. You think you understand the mind behind the design. I understand enough, Maya said, standing. You're the man who needed to feel like a god, and now you never will again. She turned toward the door. Goodbye, Mr. Vale. Outside the interview wing, Chronicle thrummed with life, agents training on the range, recruits jogging down the track, analysts carrying stacks of files. Maya breathed in the cold morning air. She had stared into the abyss and learned to stare back. The hangman's shadow no longer frightened her, and she was ready for whatever darkness came next.